My name is Glenn Smith. I'm a member of the Last Post Fund BC branch. I look for veterans' unmarked graves, and when I find them, I do a little bit of research, put a file together, and in due course, a headstone is approved and placed in the cemetery.
So Glenn, we're in Hazelwood Cemetery in Abbotsford, and there is a number of veterans buried here, and some of them, their graves are not marked. So
Correct.
How do we know if you come across an unmarked grave of a veteran?
Well, what I do, Ali, is I will attend the cemetery, and as a matter of fact, this is a really good example here. There's two markers of veterans. Two here, and then there's a space. Then there's some more veterans markers. But in this space, I would look at that and initially think, well, that's perhaps a spot where a veteran lies and his or her grave is not marked. As this is an unmarked space in the cemetery between two existing military markers, my next move would be to go talk to the cemetery coordinator at Hazelwood Cemetery here and ask him if he knows if it's an unmarked grave of a veteran. And if he knows that information, I'll go with that, do some research, identify who the veteran is, put a file together, and send that information off to our national office in Montreal, where the information is vetted. I don't get to meet a lot of living descendants of veterans. World War I obviously was over 100 years ago. There aren't many World War II veterans alive today, but some of their descendants are still living. I was contacted by an elder that lives in Chilliwack. She had grown up in the Samath First Nation in Abbotsford here, and told me that her uncle, a World War II veteran, is buried in the Hillgard Cemetery, and his grave is unmarked. And she asked if I could help out and possibly get a headstone for her uncle. That one has a special place in my heart because it is an Indigenous veteran involved, and I have been able to talk with a living descendant of that veteran. It gives me a sense of pride knowing that I've assisted a family member in having a headstone placed on their family member's unmarked grave. Giving these graves a headstone gives that veteran's identity back to those families.